So you're shopping for used boats and you find the one that could be perfect for you. The only problem, it's 6 hours away. So how do you buy that boat and limit your exposure, and what's the process look like? So you're looking online, you find that perfect boat for sale, and now what do you do next? Well, here's my recommendation. I've written the book Boat Buyer's Secret Weapon, available on Amazon. I've helped millions and millions of boat shoppers on this channel. And the first thing I recommend doing is confirm that the boat's as good as the pictures and the descriptions say they are. So I recommend doing that by asking for a video walk around, or even better, doing a FaceTime video where you can actually have a look at the boat with the person walking you around. So you can see it real time and you know exactly the conditions. You can say, hey, what's that? Let me zoom in a little bit more on that. Hey, show me the engine compartment, show me down in there, show me the gel coat, show me this, show me that, and get a really good inspection of the boat without driving all that way to take a look. Now you've gone from, I hope it's all right, to, oh, this really could be the right boat for me. Now at that point, it all looks good. You're actually going to take the next step and make an offer, but that offer is going to be contingent upon an in-person inspection and a sea trial. So that in-person inspection could be done one of two ways. We'll talk about that. And the sea trial, I don't care what the boat is. I don't care how new it is. I don't care how great it looks. I don't care how nice the seller is. Don't buy a boat without that sea trial. Now, you don't have to be the one to do it, but that boat needs to be put on the water and run, put under a load, run for 20, 30 minutes or more, and everything checked on the water before you write that check. So the offer contingent upon that inspection gives you the out. Hey, if things aren't exactly the way you said they were, if it doesn't run, then my offer's off the table. But at least you're making sure that the dollar amount is where you're going to be comfortable buying the boat if everything checks out 100%. Okay. If it doesn't, we can either renegotiate or I walk one way or another. Now, if you're dealing with a broker or a dealer, they may ask when you make that offer to put up a 10% refundable deposit, okay? I'm going to suggest that that is 100% perfectly fine. They're a reputable dealer, they're a reputable broker, money's going to go into a trust account and it's going to be safe and you're going to get it back. And assuming that all the paperwork is in order, in that case, you're going to have actual agreement that you write the offer up. Just make sure you're very specific about what it's contingent upon. Personal inspection, sea trial, financing if you're going to finance a portion, okay? Those are the main things. They're easy outs for you if you need to, so you can get your money back. Now, this is the point where it can diverge. So if it's so far away that you just can't or don't want to make that trip, well, that's fine. Go ahead and hire a surveyor. Now, when you think about a surveyor, there's two types of surveyor I want you to know about. One is a mechanical surveyor. That's more of a technician that you would hire to go pull compression, check the oil in the gear loop, check the engine components of that boat. A surveyor is likely going to be a separate person that's going to inspect the hull and the integrity and the other systems of the boat. So here's my recommendation. The more complex the boat is, cruiser, anything with a cabin, with a generator, with air conditioning, with detailed plumbing, more than just a head, then I'm going to recommend get a mechanical inspection and a surveyor, maybe two people, okay? If it's a pontoon or a bow rider or center console that doesn't have a cabin, you know, something under, let's say, 28 feet or so, 30 feet, then you can likely just go with a mechanical inspection and just ask them to go through all the systems as well. They're not going to go into as much detail, but you can ask them to tap the hull and just make sure the hull and structure is sound as well, and they will likely have those skills. Okay, that's going to be the surveyor. Or you can go in person. You can get my Boat Buyer's Toolkit, which is a 40-page, just chock full of tech checklists. I just talked to a guy earlier that was going on a sea trial. He had his checklist ready to go. Super helpful if you're new to boat buying, and you can do that inspection yourself. You can do that sea trial yourself and go through all the systems, do all of that in person. So you've got either way works. If you're going to be doing the surveyor, just get a recommendation from some Facebook groups, from some local areas, call a couple dealers, couple brokers in that area. And when you start hearing that same name pop up over and over and over, that's the one that you want to go with. So now, okay, boat checks out, looks great. Now there's two options. You can either wire the funds Or if you're going to finance a portion, which if you are, check out our boat loan match system. Go to boatloanmatch.com. There's a explainer video there, tells you how we help you out. There's also free bonuses that'll be very valuable for you. But when you wire the funds, you're just going to wire them out. Remember, when it comes to going distances, there's some logistics that you've got to create, okay? If you are the one that's going to go and inspect the boat and you're going to wire funds, remember that you don't want to send that wire the day you leave before you've inspected the boat, but also the seller isn't going to let you take that boat until the wire clears. So here's what I recommend, is if you want to do it in a single day's trip and not make 2 trips, go ahead and do this. Show up early in the morning on a weekday, preferably a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, okay? Show up early, do your inspection, do your sea trial. And the reason I say do it early in the morning is because you need to trigger your wire before about 2 o'clock Eastern time, okay? Every bank's a little bit different, but that's usually the wire cutoff, which means if you send that wire out, it's going to go overnight and it will fund and actually post to their account the next day. So if you do this on Monday, that wire will clear on Tuesday and they'll let you take that boat Tuesday afternoon, okay? May take till the afternoon, so it's planned accordingly. Same thing with the loan. If you're going to do finance a portion of it with the company we match you with or whoever, it's going to be the same thing. You're going to inspect it in the morning. Everything checks out. Now you call your lender and say, hey, everything's good. We're good to go. And then you send them all the information they need. They then fund the loan. That loan will likely fund that next day. You send in your funds, whatever your down payment is, however you're going to handle that. And now that next day you can leave. So here's why I say do it on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. If something happens, you do it on a Wednesday, Thursday, we had a hiccup. Something didn't happen. We still got Friday. But what happens if you do it on a Friday? Well, now you got to wait to the weekend for those funds to clear, and you're not getting out of there till Monday. You just wasted 4 days. So remember the logistics. Do it earlier in the week so you've got that cushion on days. And if something does go wrong, there's something came up in the sea trial and I'm not comfortable doing it. We need an estimate before I'm willing to close, and we're going to renegotiate. Great. Now we got some days to do that. You don't have to make another trip. The longer distance, the more important that is, so you're not making extra trips. Hopefully that makes sense. Leave questions down below if you got it. And remember, if you're financing a portion, go to the Captain Matt's boat loan match system, where we'll actually match you with the lender based on your location, the type of boat, your credit profile, and a bunch of other things, so that you're getting the absolute best opportunity with your boat loan, so that you're cutting the cost down and saving some money. And I mentioned we got some bonuses there for you as well, where I'm going to give you some cool free gifts. So now we've done the inspection, we've handled the financial part of it. Now how are we going to get the boat home? Well, best, hook it up to your truck, haul home. Make sure you've got the right hitch size. Make sure you've got the right light plugs for the trailer. Make sure you inspect those tires before you go pulling out of there. Make sure you inspect your lights, that your lights are working properly before you go hauling out of there. Put your transom straps on. Make sure it's on that trailer properly, okay? A lot of people have bought a boat and the drive home has been a disaster because they had a tire blowout, because the boat wasn't on the trailer properly and it was damaged in some way or another. They didn't have insurance on the boat before they took off, and they were going to get it when they got home, and there was an incident. Have all of that stuff done. Again, it's all in the toolkit. Have all of that stuff done before you finalize the paperwork and you hit the road, okay? The second option is, hey, listen, I did a survey. They did the inspection. They did the sea trial. I had them FaceTime me while they were doing the inspection and the sea trial. Everything looked good. Did the funds. We're good to go. And now I need somebody to transport that boat to me. Great option for ease of ownership. About $3 a loaded mile. Again, make sure that when you're transporting it, that you hire somebody good, that's insured and bonded, so that if they damage your boat in some way or another, you're not SOL, right? Most of them will be about $3 to $4 a loaded mile. The bigger the boat, the more expensive it might be. They'll have you pay tolls as well if there's any toll roads. I've got a guy, if you're in the Southeast, let me know. I've got a guy, Trip, that would gladly do it for you, insurance bonded, all the good stuff. And also, I recommend that if they're going to transport, that you have them do a video before you give them the go-ahead to go. Not all transporters are created equal. Stay away from U-ship. It's going to be way cheaper, but the more expensive the boat, it's too risky to save $500 in my mind. Check that the bimini top is down. All cushions that can and will blow out down the interstate going 70 miles an hour are tucked away in the cab of the truck. The keys are out of the ignition, tucked away in the cab of the truck. The windshield is locked shut or strapped down some way or another. Any electronics, the VHF microphones on your fixed mounts are tucked away and not just dangling. Anything that can and will blow out on a long trip like that will. So make sure that you just clear that out and make sure all of the canvas is put away in a way that it's not going to get damaged. Canvas is really easy to ruin going 70 miles an hour for 6 hours, okay? So just clear that before you say, all right, now you're ready to hit the road. And you also, this is the condition of the boat when it left. This is the condition of the boat when it arrived. You're responsible for anything that happened in that middle ground, right? And that's going to be important. So that's how you handle the transport. Don't overlook this stuff, because that transport home, especially if you're towing it yourself or hiring a transport, there's a lot of pitfalls that can happen. Just slow down. I know you're excited to get that boat home, but slow down and make sure everything's done properly. So when the boat gets there, you're ready to hit the water and have some fun. If you want that toolkit, go to boatbuyerstoolkit.com and definitely check out the boat loan match program if you're financing a portion. Leave your comments down below if you've bought in a boat from far away, any tips that you have or any stories that you have. Remember, life truly is better on a boat.